Okay, this silver ring right here, is hiding the next pair of screws that we need to get to. So this ring, just gotta be really careful and pry it down and off till it comes off. Okay, pry it off. So there's a bunch of screws, but this base right here is also covering up the screws. So we need to hit out this pin that's right here, and the bottom base is gonna come off. So get a small punch and a hammer, and we're gonna hammer that punch out. Small punch, hammer this pin out, that's right here. Okay, this pin out right here. Be careful, it likes to shoot out. And there should just be a gear holding this in. Okay, just the gear holding it in. Comes right off. Now we can get to these 5 screws that are right here. And these screws are a square head, so make sure you have this nice square head just like this. So after you get those screws out, there are going to be 2 here, then 2 more on the very back side. Here and here. These are the last 2 screws. Okay, before I pull this off, I'm going to make sure this little electrical wire is still not in there so I don't yank any wires out. Pull it out of its little slot. Now it's loose and free. And you're probably going to have to pry this up and off. It is going to be stuck on there to an extent. But if you're prying really hard and it's not coming off, you probably left a screw in it somewhere. So be careful. We just got to lock it. I'm going to lock it so it doesn't fold up on me and just wiggle it till it comes off. Okay, there's the top piece. Came right off. And here's all the gears on the inside. This lube actually looks clean. Don't let the color fool you. This is what it's supposed to look like. So I'm gonna put some gloves on, take some of this lube out and put it on a nice plastic sheet so I can reuse it. Get this big hunk out of here so I can see what's going on the inside of this. So the accessory drive is, trying to touch this without my dirty hands, why it doesn't murder me, comes out the top here. On the inside of this, there's an accessory drive gear. Put it in the light. Right here where my thumb is, this is an accessory drive gear. And that's what actually spins whatever accessory you have on the front of this. That gear is running off the main gear. Okay, the main gear is on the shaft that goes in, comes out the bottom, and actually whisks up or mixes up whatever you have in the bowl. So that shaft that comes all the way out, there is a main gear right here. Clean it off a little bit. And what I'm seeing is that the teeth on this is actually burred up. It's cut up. The notch is out right here. I can see that on the gear, the teeth are cut up. Not smooth, so I'm gonna replace that, see how it goes. This is a new gear that goes right here on the bottom to replace the one that's broken apart. And this is a new accessory drive gear. This should look familiar with the square. That's what you're gonna see when you look through the head of this right here. It's on the inside of this. So we're gonna get that replaced. Now they come in a pair because these are matched gears. Okay, if I just replace this one and this gear that was originally here is all broken up, well, those broken nasty teeth have been riding on the accessory drive, and that probably means the accessory drive is also broken up, if not completely wasted, not usable. You don't want a broken up gear on a nice fresh one and just tear up something new. So these are matched gears. They run off each other. Accessory drive right here. Okay. What I'm going to take off next is this secondary gear drive. It's the stack of gears right here on the side. So you just need a Phillips. I'll come right off. Looks like there's 3 Phillips for this little gear drive right here. 1 on each side, then 1 in the back. Lay it on your plastic sheet. Now what we're going to do is lift up from the bottom. Once we lift up from the bottom, we're going to push this pin out that's right here. So there's a little pin, it just slides in and out, the grease holds it in. So pull this pin out, no hammer required. And now this should fall through the bottom. Fell at the bottom, nice and easy. Put that on your plastic. Now our gear set that we're trying to fix comes right off. You can see right here now what I was talking about on the gear. The bevels, the teeth here. There's a dent or there's a bump right here in the center of it. The teeth has been eaten off of it. Okay, so I had to do this in 2 takes. I ordered the wrong gear, but this is a good learning experience for the video. Certain gears have this top gear that's right here that I'm trying to replace. It's standalone. You can take it off by itself. It notches into the bottom gear. The gear that I have, I bought this probably 2014, 2015. These 2 gears are casted together. So make sure you take it all the way apart to make sure you order the right gears. Good learning experience. The company's actually letting me return these, so not that big of a deal, except for I'm gonna have to pay for the shipping on the way back. Okay, so now we're gonna fix this new gear, old gear. I don't see metal shards inside of this. I don't see metal shards inside of the gear loop, so I'm gonna try to transfer as much gear lube over to this one, so this one's ready to go. Okay, get that gear on in place. What I'm going to do is go ahead and put this pin in that holds the gear in place onto the shaft. So this is going to go into the shaft right here in the middle. Okay, now before you put this gear on, make sure that this washer is on the bottom of it, okay? Here's the washer. It's going to stick it to the grease. It's going to hold itself. It's going to sit right here on the top. Now I go to put the main shaft back in. The main shaft has 2 holes in it, one at the very top, the one in the middle. Right now we need to worry about the one that's in the middle. The pin that came out of this shaft, go ahead and put that in the middle hole. Then the other hole is the bottom, okay? So pin in the middle shaft, the other hole is the bottom. Set it in from the top. Make sure, there's gonna be a little bit of pressure for that to go in, a little tiny bit, okay? Make sure that that pin sits right in the notch on the very top of this. So I'm going to spin it, make sure it sits in the notch. Now these both are mated. And the main gear drives the main shaft. This should be spinning. This should be spinning, okay? So I'm a car guy, so I'm gonna call this a planetary gear set. Put this planetary gear set back in. Okay, it's kind of the KitchenAid's transmission. Now there's 2 dowel pins. Center pins right here in the front. I'm sorry, there's 2 dowel pins right here. So there's 2 dowel pins right here on the machine. Make sure that the planetary gear set, these 2 front holes, fall into those dowel pins. Okay, now that this shaft's on, I need to make sure I screw it in with the 3 screws. Now let's go ahead and pick up the mixer housing. This is where your mixer attaches to. Now, this didn't really come with much lubrication on it, but me being a gear guy, I put just a little bit on it. Don't go super ham on it. Give it a little bit of lube. It's good to go because it didn't actually come with very much in the first place. It's the easiest thing you're gonna do on this whole repair, okay? Push the old one out. Just push it out. Grab it. There it is, that's it. Take that out. Now what I'm going to do is just exchange the lubricants. make sure the new one has no dry teeth. On the inside, go ahead and put this gear drive back in. It just sits in there, so be careful so it doesn't fall out. So try to put it on as straight up and down as possible. You don't want to mess up any of those gears. And you're going to have to wiggle it around to make sure everything lines up just right as you're setting it in. Now as I'm putting this on, I'm going to spin the gear a little bit, apply a little upward pressure, make sure it all lines up. Okay, boom, lines right up. This is spinning as the whole housing spins. This little hole right here, that's on the mixer, make sure it lines up with the main drive shaft here. This KitchenAid band obviously goes with the letters up, wrap around the front. The notches go out both levers. There's hooks in the bottom and rolls up. Hook to the bottom, rolls up. One last Phillips screw and we're finished. Okay, last step is to put this beauty ring back on. Kind of just smashes into place. So try to put it up nice and even. Okay, make sure it's flush all the way around. And it's good to go. So again, this is Zach Parks with Wired Customs. Showing you how to fix a couple things around the house that is not a car. Please like and subscribe if you want to see more car stuff, or if you want to see more Gearhead Around the House stuff. Thank you.